Hey there, I'm Chaz, and this is my buddy Con, and we're here to give you a first impression of the Brooks Hyperion Elite 5. Couple of things about this video. Number one, I know that the Brooks Hyperion Elite 5 was one of those shoes that I said I was going to hold off on and not buy. But my local running store, Charlotte Running Company, Mooresville, did a weekend sale where they had 20% off of all carbon plated shoes. So that made it worthwhile for me because that pretty much brought the cost down to a pre-tariff price Endorphin Pro, so $225 before taxes and all that, which for a $275 shoe was kind of a steal. Normally I like to do a full review with the shoe off and everything before I release any content about a shoe, but I wasn't going to get that all in by the end of this weekend, but I wanted to give you some content, and I did do a pretty decent long run in this shoe today, 18 miles with a couple of 3-mile segments at half marathon pace, a little faster than half marathon pace. So I do think I have a good idea of the shoe. I will still do a shoe off and everything, but it won't be part of this video. It will be in a follow-up video. When that comes out, well, I'll try and get out it as soon as I can. But right now, Con and I are going to enjoy this walk, and we'll do a little shoe talk as well. All right, friends, specs and features for the Brooks Hyperion Elite 5. Starting at the top, we have a very thin, very airy, very breathable track spike-like upper, and we have these serrated race day laces that are really just affixed to the upper by these little loops here. It looks like it's going to be plenty durable as far as the stitching. It should be very comfortable too. We have some padding around the heel collar there and a little pull tab, a little textile pull tab near the Achilles. There is a little bit of rigidity in the heel, but it'll pretty much flop down under pressure. I don't think there's going to be a lot of pressure there. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of structure to the heel. It looks to just be light and airy. Midsole is 100% DNA gold, which is Brooks' supercritical PIBA. It is a supercritical, so it is nitrogen infused, which makes me think it would be more like the Power Run HG and Saucony shoes, like the original Endorphin Elite, but we will see. On the bottom of the shoe, we have Speed Tack rubber, which feels to the touch very much like the Speed Traction rubber on the bottom of the Adidas Adios Pro 4. Again, we'll see. I like how it's kind of in stripes here. It will allow some traction. It's not 100% coverage. Most of the forefoot, which is good for me because that's where I get most of my abrasion, most of my traction. And we have the same patterning on the exposed DNA gold on the bottom, and then a couple of strips of outsole on the high wear areas in the heels for those who graze the heel or land on the heel. 40 millimeter midsole in the heel and 32 millimeter in the forefoot for an 8 millimeter drop. The advertised weight is 7.1 ounces in a men's US size 9. As soon as I get these home and get them on a scale, I will weigh them and report that right here. My men's US size 9.5 weigh 204 grams for the left shoe, 205 grams for the right shoe, and that works out to about 7.2 ounces, which is as advertised. But yeah, I'm excited to try this shoe. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Speed Vault plate, which you can only see through those little bubbles there, those little orbs that Brooks is calling them. And it is kind of a latticed plate that is supposedly designed differently for each individual shoe size. Same general shape and design, but they didn't just shrink it or grow it. It's probably going to have slightly different geometries for each shoe size if the advertising is correct. So my first run in these will be tomorrow, and it'll be a long run, 18 miles, with some extended time at half marathon pace, which should be in the low 6s, maybe sub 6s, and I'll let you know how they do. Sunday, long run day. Plan for the long run is 18 total miles, and 36 minutes of that is going to be at a half marathon effort, split into 18-minute segments with about 4 minutes recovery between. Might do some slightly faster, high aerobic paces before then, because one of our training partners, Lindsay, is training for Philly Marathon, and she's going to be doing quite a bit of this run at a marathon pace, which for her is about 7:05. So yeah, we'll see how they go. All right, so almost 5 miles in to this long run at mostly a base pace, and these Hyperion Elite 5 feel just so smooth. We'll see how they feel at pace, but I think they're gonna be pretty good. Right here. Okay. 18 minutes at HMP.
Flat should feel good.
Yeah. Anthony's half marathon pace is about 20 seconds per mile faster than mine. So he should pull ahead here on this first interval. And here comes Lindsay doing her marathon pace. Woo! Ow. Gonna practice my Japanese U-turn here. Could have been better. 10 minutes in, holding the 6 flat pace. A little faster half marathon. Just started the second rep. First 3 miles were in about 5:58 pace. I doubt these 3 miles will be the same pace. These feel really smooth at a 6-minute pace, plus minus. Hey, Chris. He's doing 5:15s. You look like you're tracking fast. Probably doing 5:40s, 5:39s. I'm doing 5:59s. See if I can get a better Japanese U-turn this time. Oh, shoes coming off. Bad move. Almost done with the last rep. Still averaging sub-6s, but I'm feeling it. 2 by 18 minutes in the Hyperion Elite 5. Ended up feeling more like a tempo effort because I was going faster than goal half marathon pace. 5:58 for both 3-mile segments. Okay, while Connor and I are walking here, we'll do a little bit of a roving shoe talk. Again, I'll do a more in-depth shoe talk once I do a shoe off in these shoes, but this is after I've done a pretty good long run in them with some decent paces, and I have a pretty good idea for how the shoe feels and what I'm going to want to compare it to later. More on that later. We'll start with the fit. The fit is totally dialed in for me. It's perfect, true to size, and I've generally had pretty good luck with fit in Brooks shoes, the one exception being the T7 Racer, which was an old school racing flat from like 14 years ago, but this is a new generation of shoes. I'm a men's 9.5. I tried on a 10, a 9, and a 9.5 finally when they got one of those in. They didn't have it at first, but the 10 could have worked. It was just a little too roomy. The 9 actually could have worked better than the 10, although after trying it on in the store, running around in it for a little while, I realized that I would have had a hard time late into a longer effort with that size 9. So definitely go true to size. The upper, even though it looks like there's nothing there, it is surprisingly secure. It's airy and breathable, but I didn't feel like in the colder temps this morning, like my feet were freezing either. Although I generally don't have much of a problem with that. Foot comfort, I generally don't have a problem with. So if you have sensitive feet or have issues, I'm maybe not the best reviewer to talk about that. The midsole ride was the standout feature in this shoe. It is a Goldilocks kind of shoe where it is not so soft and mushy like you're gonna lose yourself in the instability or in the marshmallowiness like you would in a Saucony Endorphin Elite V2, and it's not so firm that you feel like you're not really able to activate the elasticity of the midsole like you would in, say, an On Cloudboom Echo 3. It is reminiscent of the Endorphin Elite V1 from Saucony with that supercritical PIBA. However, I think it's a little bit more forgiving than the Endorphin Elite 1. I'm definitely going to have the Endorphin Elite 1 on the shoe off when I do the shoe off. But as far as the other 5 or 6 shoes that I'm going to use in comparison, I haven't completely decided that. I have some ideas, but I'm curious what you guys think as well, as far as what shoes that you know I have in my collection that you would like to see compared to the Hyperion Elite 5. Grip was good, outsole was good, the ride was just great. It felt totally smooth through my 19-mile run that had 2x3 miles at sub-6 pace. So hope to have another video coming out for you soon that has a shoe off, and we can drill down a little bit more into the details of this shoe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ding the bell for notifications, and as always, say hi to Con boy. All right, see you on the next run.